grade 7 student, 7 ASB. This is Mrs. G. Very sorry that I'm missing class again today. Unfortunately, I've had a bad luck with my children getting sick, so I'm home with them a lot lately. But I'll be back next week, and I promise to have your assessments back to you. They have been graded, and I will put the grades on Schoology if you're curious about that. So we're going to take some notes right now, and so I want you to feel free to pause the video at points and write down, for example, a title, write down concepts, write down ideas, and I will kind of teach you the general concept for today, and I want you to write that in your notebook, and then there'll be an activity that you can do with your group members or do together. Everyone has to do it in their notebooks individually, but we'll get to that in a second, okay? So this is the homework that's due. Okay, it's been a little while, but I did ask you to write your own kind of pattern story. That is in the homework packet. It's lesson 1. So please have that ready for next class. We will definitely be sharing those with your group members, and I want to use those as discussion prompts. Okay, so make sure you have that ready. Homework packet, lesson 1. Okay, so today's lesson is called Rate of Change. Okay, so if you'd like to stop now and go ahead and just write down the title, you will. Oopsie, sorry. This is our title for today. This is lesson 2, Rate of Change. And yeah, if you want to write down the story, you will definitely have to write down the chart. So if you want to copy that down, you can. So yeah, get a little bit of this in your notes now. And then when you come back to me, maybe you're back to me. Sorry, I don't know why that's doing that. Let's look at what's going on here. So it says, Miss G started the school year with 50 glue sticks, and after 4 days, she was down to 42 glue sticks. After 9 days, she only had 32 glue sticks. So people are stealing my glue sticks. Not surprising, people like to do that. Glue sticks are a hot commodity. So we're talking about how this pattern is changing, and I've only given you certain points here. After 4 days, after 9 days, I haven't told you that every single day this is the change. And that's kind of what I want you to figure out. I'll say, so can you fill out this table on your own? Okay, your X value here is going to be the days, and your Y value is going to be the glue sticks. Okay, because I start the year with 50, no days have passed, so that's the point here. At day 0, I have 50. Okay, on day 4, I have 42. Okay, when you copy down this chart, you must have these spaces in here because that's counting evenly. Okay, so if you want to pause and give this a try, feel free. Try and fill in those even spaces. How many are going each day? All right, if you've given that a try, you can think about filling in each day kind of in order. And if you think about what's happening here, this is the span of 4 days, not 3. Okay, so from 0 to 4, that's 4 days. And in 4 days, I have lost 8 glue sticks, right? So therefore, each day, I am losing 2. So hopefully you maybe were able to figure this out. 48, then 44. I'm sorry, 48, then 46, then 44. Then 2 more is 40, and that should bring you perfectly and nicely down to 32. Okay, so our concept today is this idea of rate of change. So the rate of change is really just kind of a fancy math term for how my pattern is progressing. Okay, so the rate of change for this question is -2. Okay, that's the rate of change. For every 1 day, I lose 2 glue sticks. Let's write that down. So every 1 day, Mrs. G loses, I'm not sure if I spelled that right, sorry, loses 2 glue stick. Okay, so the rate of change for this situation is -2. Okay, the rate of change is a definition. We should also write that down. Okay, so the rate of change in general is how much does the Y value change per one X value change. Okay, in 1 day, in 1 minute, in 1 hour. So when this goes up by 1, what is happening here? Okay, so feel free to take a moment and pause me and write down everything I've written there in red and in blue. All right, so that is the basic concept of rate of change. Now, if you're thinking about the things that we did last unit or last lesson about maybe talking about how this might work as a formula or as an equation, hopefully you're seeing there's also connections here with the starting point. Okay, this is your starting point. Okay, and your pattern of -2 each time. Okay, commonly when we write equations in this unit, in our linear functions unit, we'll start y equals. We'll try and figure out this value, talking about what was the input. Okay, we did those kind of function machines, in and out rules. So the output comes from, how do I write a little formula that moves me in this direction, right? I put in 8, I get 32. I put in 7, I get 36. I put in 6, I put 38. So your starting point is 50, and you lose, I shouldn't tell you. If you want to give it a try, you can. But your starting point is 50, and you lose 2 per day. Okay, so the formula, the equation, we'll talk about that a lot this unit. So if you're not exactly sure where that comes from just yet, don't stress. But if you're starting to see some connections here, that's great. Okay, your starting point here, on step 1, I'm at 50, and I lose 2 each day. If you wanted to see exactly how that works itself out, let's pick a day. So let's pick day 3, for example. Y equals 50 minus 2 times 3. I've lost 6 glue sticks on day 3 because I lose 2 each day. I start with 50, so I have to take 6 away from 50. Y equals 44. Remember, Y in this case is the glue sticks. Does that match my table? Oh my God, it doesn't. What am I doing? Miss G. What? Yes, it does. I'm sorry. I was looking here. Here. Yes. Sorry. Happy face. So on day 3, I'm down to 44. Okay, so that's kind of how these are starting to connect. All right. Last but not least, if you wanted to look at this as a graph, just a quick visual here. X is your horizontal, Y is your vertical. You start up at 50, and down here, I have moved. Let's see, each box looks like it's 2. So this is 2, this is 4, this is 6, this is 8. This happens to be how my graph worked out. So 1 day, I'm now at 48. 2 days, oops, that's here. 2 days, I'm at 42, 44, 46. Okay. And 4 days here, I'm at 42. But either way, each individual point isn't the most important thing here, just starting to see how all these things start to connect. Okay, so there's your graph there. I'm starting up at 50. I'm losing glue sticks, so my line shows kind of a negative movement there, going down. Okay, it goes down. All right, so what I want you guys to do here in class today, now that we're done with that, when will Miss G run out of glue sticks? That's an interesting question. Maybe we'll tackle that one as a warm-up next time. Have a think about that, and I will see. I'll give you your answer for that next class. But what I want you to do today is this activity here. Okay, it's called the Basic Student Budget. So just follow along for me a second. Cal, Bernie, and Doc are college students on a budget. Okay, these are their names. Cal, Bernie, and Doc are college students on a budget. Sometimes the 3 have a difficulty keeping to their budget. Sorry, I'm right here. And the issue is the rent. The total rent for their apartment is $450, which is split evenly amongst the 3. So how much is that per person? $150. Okay, so they each have to pay $150 at the end of the month. And the rent is due on the last day of each month, and the guys don't get paid until the first day of the next month. Their landlord says absolutely no turning your monthly rent in late. So they must have $150 on the last day of the month. We are going to do a little experiment here with the month of April. Okay, so April has 30 days. So the question is, let's follow the patterns that these guys are having here, and let's see how much money they'll have at the end of the month. What I want you to do is to start with a graph. Okay, this graph is going to take some time. Make one big graph with these 3 lines on it, each in different colors. Okay, so grab 3 different colors. I'm only giving you, like it says in the story, they write down how much money they have on 4 different days of the month. On the 1st, on the 3rd, on the 10th, and on the 17th. Okay, but you want to be able to extend that to the 30th. Okay, so let me give you a little idea of what your graph is going to look like. And maybe I should read this real quick. Okay, it says each of the 3 students has a different amount of money after being paid on April 1st. At the end of that day, Cal had $550, Bernie had $400, and Doc had $300. As the months go by, they each take note occasionally of how much money they have left at the end of the day. Okay, so they're all spending money a little bit differently. Some are spending more money at each day, some are spending less money each day. So sketch and label a graph. Take your yellow math notebooks and turn them horizontally. And you're going to, from scratch, kind of make your graph. Okay, what you want to do is along the bottom of your notebook. This is the long way. Okay, this is the days of the month, and you don't want to stop at 17. You want to know how much money they have on day 30. Oh, that is not a very straight line, sorry. Okay, so use a ruler, unlike Miss G. And this is day 1, and just count 1 box as 1 day, and so on 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 until you get to 30. Okay, go over 1 for day 1. This intersection point is always 0. And then it's your job to count up on the y-axis to our largest number. What is our largest number here? Okay, and I will give you this as a little piece of paper. The sub will give this to you as a little piece of paper, so don't have to write all this down. The largest number is 550. Okay, so count evenly up to 550. You got to figure that out. Count by 10s, count by 20s, count by 50s, count by 100s. But make this take up basically a whole piece of paper. Once you have all that counted out, you're going to start making the dots as you see in this chart. So on April 1, on April 1, Cal is at 550. Okay, so you will go to day 1 and go up to 550 and put a dot. Okay, don't put that line there. You'll do the same thing for, I want to say it's the 3rd of the month. So the 3rd of the month, you'll go up to whatever he has there. Okay, you should, after doing the other 2 points, get something that's a nice straight line. Take a ruler, connect the line, and you'll try and figure out how much money they have here on the 30th of the month. Okay? Do that for all 3 of them. You should have something that kind of resembles, 3 different colored lines, something kind of like that by the end of this. And then there are some questions as well. Okay, so when you're done with the video, ask the substitute for this little document, cute little piece of paper, and try and figure out all of these answers here. Okay, try all of them. Extension 2 is really quite tough, but if you got time, do it all. And that is what we will talk about our next class. Okay, I hope that's clear. Let me know if you have any questions. If you really get through with all of this, there is another worksheet the sub can give you. Okay, so that is that. I will see you Monday. Thanks for your patience. Talk soon.